Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing fine today. Are you? Just a quick mic check here, please. So, hope you guys are doing fine. Good morning from Japan. Good evening, good nights everywhere. Hello, Matthew. Hakim's in the house. Yuko, Flat Earth Nurse. So many good people. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm not getting any. I don't know what's going on here. The comments. So I hope you guys can hear me well. So, thank you, Tammy. Thanks a lot. All right, so welcome to the show, everyone. We're going to talk a little bit about it's been a year since the guys faked the whole Antarctica 24-hour sun. So I decided to talk a little bit about it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because it's actually, pretty sad, the how human people, thanks Yuko, how people can, lie to that extent just to, hide the shape of the earth, the truth about biblical cosmology. It's interesting. So let me go ahead and get started with this presentation for this TFE. I came across this week with a couple videos on TikTok. It's December. People are visiting Union Glacier in Antarctica. So I came across this video here, really interesting. Let me try to find it here. It's this one. Okay, let's take a listen this one.
Happy Antarctica Day! Here's some fun facts about Antarctica.
Fun fact, Rob Swan here was actually the first ever person to walk to the South and North Poles.
Antarctica is the highest, coldest, driest continent anywhere on Earth.
The South Pole is located 10,000 feet above sea level.
The coldest day ever recorded anywhere on Earth in history was in Antarctica, minus 125 degrees Fahrenheit, which is minus 89 degrees Celsius. A bit chilly.
Beneath me right now is 16,000 feet of solid ice. Antarctica is home to the world's largest ice sheet, containing 70% of the world's fresh water.
There are no polar bears in the Antarctic. They live in the Arctic, but there are quite a lot of penguins here.
All right, so interesting. What I want to highlight in that video is the fact that no matter what, these people claim to be midnight in Antarctica, just like Fake Seat, the other guy here who claimed to be midnight and 10 p.m., pastor. There's always one thing in common. They all face north. They all facing north. You see the mountain, Mount Rosman behind them. If it's midnight, if it's 11 p.m. or 10 p.m., the sun should be behind the mountain because the mountain is behind them, south of them. So if it's truly midnight, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., their shadow should not be cast behind them. So here we see that they are facing north, right? Same thing with this video. People start posting videos in Antarctica, and then you see the comments. Oh, it's midnight sun. No, it's 3 p.m. They are facing north, just like Fix It here. This picture here, it's an official photo taken. If you go to the website, Antarctica Logistic Alley Expedition, you can download this picture there, and you go to the metadata, you find the time. It was taken November 27, 2016 at 3:33 p.m., a very Masonic number. And the shadows here of this sign is the same as this guy here, and now he's claiming to be 10 p.m., right? So you see how these people lie, concerning a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. They face north. They claim to be midnight, just like now. I can say, I can take my camera outside and say it's midnight here in Japan. The sun is shining, when in fact it's 10 a.m., And you see, that's their lies. This lady here, you can see the sun is rising here on east. Her shadow is being cast west. See the mountain right there? If, when the sun is behind the mountain, behind them, this is what we should see right here, the silhouette. Okay? So picture an Union Glacier are always facing north with Mount Rosman as a background. They always like to take this picture with the mountain in the background. If the sun was truly behind that mountain, that picture should look more like this one right here on the right side, just the silhouette, unless they use the reflector or something. So these are the lies, just 1 year later. And I always ask these questions: why none of the universities are backing these guys? How come the University of São Paulo, who's the entirely geophysics department, with Professor Afonso, when he came out as a flat earther, many of his students went along. How come the university is not backing this TFE stuff? University of Argentina, Chile, São Paulo, Brazil. Why aren't the military people at the Antarctica bases, Brazilian Antarctica base in Brazil, in Antarctica? Why aren't they, supporting this whole TFE stuff? You know, Completely fake. And you have all these Freemasons here, black and white, white, black and white. Okay, black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white. Facing north, you see the shadows of them here, claiming to be midnight. So it's quite it's a joke, if you think about it. Like a pathetic, I call this a pathetic attempt to attack flat Earth. This is a pathetic attempt because if you know, people who go there, they know that there is no 24-hour sun. What we have in Antarctica, and I have shown several times before, we have 24 hours of daylight, but daylight and sunlight are two different things. Okay, we have daylight, but we don't have sunlight 24 hours in Antarctica. So that is in the Encyclopedia Americana, the Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. As far back as 1940s, 1950s, they published this. While you have 4 months of the sun in the North Pole, going around the North Pole, in Antarctica you have 1 day only of daylight. And that's it. So as I came across a couple of videos this week on TikTok of people posting their videos in Antarctica, I noticed the same trend, the same thing, always facing north with the mountain lit behind them, proving that they are facing north, not really uh, at midnight. They don't post those videos like at midnight, you know. Oh, look, the mountain, the the sun is behind the mountain. They don't do that. It's always like in this position right here, but the shade, their shadows, you know, give them away, give the whole thing away. Of course, they are facing north, the mountain behind them being lit, entirely lit. As you see, fake seat here, fake seat, and the whole thing here. So what I want to do, guys, I have a Flat Earth Deplorable. He sent me 2 links, very good videos. Instead of me talking about TFE today, I want to point you out. I'm going to place a link here in this channel. It's called QP, something like that. He published a 2-part fake experiment. Really excellent. This first one was posted about 2 months ago. And then he went ahead and just uploaded the second part two right here. Really, really, really good. All the people behind this fake experiment just uploaded about 2 weeks ago. All right, so I'm gonna place a link here in the chat if you guys check it out. Check part one first. Maybe I should place a link for part one first. It's only 14 minutes. After you watch that, watch part two. Okay, leave there a comment. Say Eddie Flat Earth Banjo sent me. So I'll place a link here. TFE expose ex, exposed. All right, so check it out later. So I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time talking about those shields. I mean, they have been. The good thing about it. Thanks, brother. Thank you, Jamie. Long time, man. Hope you're doing fine in Atlanta. Long time. We haven't talked in a long time. So, um, this whole TFE thing going on, and like the good thing about TFE is that it exposed all the shields because everyone you're gonna see in this video, you're gonna see all the shields that are really defending, this whole TFE, defending David Wise, defending Fake Sid, defending Jaron. I mean, it's amazing the number of people who are behind that fakery, you know? So the best thing about TFE, it really exposed all the shields and watch the videos that you're gonna see. Hello, Flat Earth Patriot. All right, you're gonna see, like so many of them. All right, so I'm gonna play. Since today I have 3 songs to play, really interesting songs. Hello, Flatter the Plotter was in the house. Oh yes, I mean, just nobody in the South backs these people. Even the Globers in Brazil, they make sure to distance themselves from this TFE experiment. It's now I'm not gonna use that stuff as evidence for the group, you know. So since I have 3 songs to play today. I want to go ahead and play the first one now and move on to the second part. So this is really good song. Let's enjoy it.
Oh, looking at vintage space exploration suits is one of the greatest things you can do. Back in 1931, Yevgeny Chertovsky created this one, and they just get funnier the more that you look through. This one was made for long bouts on the moon, but they never used it, maybe they peaked too soon. Shiny silver was compulsory, big bulbous helmets of luxury, and if you think they wouldn't work, you're a flat earth loon. Oh, vintage space exploration suits come with helmets, shiny trousers, and boots. They don't look out of place in Star Trek, and this one looks just like a Dalek. Oh, vintage space exploration suits. Take a look through history, you'll see it's true that it wasn't just the crafts made of tin foil, but it was the clothing too. Vintage space exploration suits come with helmets, shiny trousers, and boots. They don't look out of place in Star Trek, and this one looks just like a Dalek in their vintage space exploration suit.
Hello, Crystal. Crystal's in the house. So I really enjoyed the spacesuit song by Queen of Space. Remembering you guys, I have a uh, playlist in my channel. Just go to my channel. You see the Flat Earth music. All the songs I play here, I upload to that playlist. Okay, so check it out if you want later. I shared 6 a couple week times ago. Nobody could dispute them. Thank you. Yeah, it's very hard evidence right there that we don't live on a spinning globe. Thanks for sharing, brother. It's very strong evidences, really strong. They attack the book because Globers will attack anything. So let's go ahead and go to the second part here. I wanna share some stuff this week with you guys. First of all, I did ask ChatGPT to try to represent the Noah's flood. Give me, I asked them to give me the globe and the flat Earth. That's what ChatGPT gave me. You see, the globe here makes no sense, as True Christian was telling me, reminding me, because last week I showed my experiment how the Noah's flood took place inside a container, flat Earth container, and reminding that in order for this to happen on the globe, I mean, imagine all the extra gravity needed to support the X amount of water, you know? And where did that water go to after? If it went to the center of Earth, but that's lava. It doesn't make any sense. And the amount of gravity needed to hold the extra amount of water, it would definitely sink the boat, pull to the bottom of the ocean. But on the flat Earth, everything makes more sense. You see, the flat Earths contain pretty much like those jars that when you sealed and have plants inside, you see the water, you see the condensation, you know. So definitely the Noah's flood makes more sense on a flat Earth model. All right, I want to start this presentation. Please take a listen to this video about the flat Earth map.
So right here, we have the proof that Australia and New Zealand were actually representing the Antarctic region from the Urbano-Monti map.
Unbelievable. So, hello, my friends. Today I'm going to prove to you beyond any shadow of a doubt that the Earth is not a globe, that history is false, and that the Antarctica from ancient maps is none other than Australia and New Zealand. So I've coded a module with the GPS coordinate values of the cities you see there.
So if we click and then we select add, we can see that it's ready right here. You'll notice 48 New York. This one is Tokyo, with the north located at the center and the south extending outwards using X and Y coordinates.
We have all these cities that will allow us to slide the neighborhoods and calibrate them. Look at Sydney, where it lands. Look at Japan, look at Dakar there. We have Rio here. There's New York, Los Angeles, Mexico here. We're right over Hawaii. It lands exactly on the small islands. And there, we're going to go down, and you see Auckland. So the point landed right on New Zealand. And this just won't work on any other map. You can try that with a Mercator map. It simply won't work at all. Maps, I believe there is no comparison. Equidistant maps are already the best calibrated. And here I just took the map, I laid it down, and it did this. Can you imagine? The surprise I got, we're going to switch maps now, and that's where you're going to see the big surprise. I've placed the Urbano-Monti map, and in the background, I'm not sure if you can make it out, is the previous one that I had used. So here, we can clearly see Australia, we can clearly see New Zealand. How should I put it, zoomed in and out to properly align the map, and you can see perfectly, you see Dakar, Colombo.
So in fact, Antarctica, or the Antarctic, it wasn't that there was no ice. No, that's not it. There was no water. Tahiti, the Marquesas Islands, Hawaii, see how well this fits. Look at Mexico, Los Angeles, New York. We see that New York there is not quite on the coast. So at that time, were there more lands? Was New York not really right by the sea?
All of this you can see is truly quite incredible.
So right here, we have the undeniable proof that Australia and New Zealand were actually the Antarctic continent shown on the Urbano-Monti map. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Rio, Buenos Aires, Ushuaia, that works perfectly well too. On this side, Johannesburg and Addis Ababa, that works out well. The conclusion of the video is quite simple. You can see the precision of these maps. A map from the year 1500. How is that even possible? You see, just look. So this completely disproves the official story, because at that time we had supposedly just discovered America, and you can see that at the very same time there were already people who had already mapped everything, you see, and obviously with the Earth's curvature that simply wouldn't work. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions from this
See you later, friends.
All right, guys. This is really interesting because this is a French video, and I used AI to translate it into English, right? So this is the Urbano Monte map, 1587. And what I did, I tried to research more about this map, and I did ask ChatGPT whether Urbano Monte had commissioned people and navigators and map makers to make the map. And according to ChatGPT, Urbano Monte, he got older maps, even old maps from this time, you know. Just imagine 1587. His time he got old maps. He used like Ptolemaic charts and Persian maps and you know old maps to come up with his map. That's what I got. You know, he did not commission anybody to go and map the seas. He put it together from older maps, you know, and this time. So imagine he had access to older maps. That's why he has all the coordinate system already ready. That's really interesting. And I'm going to zoom in in a few minutes, okay? So this is JT explaining something here. Maybe I should play this video first, and then we move on. Let me play this video about JT here real quick. I think it's this one.
Y'all, you can learn a lot from old maps. In fact, I think it might be the key to unlocking some of our hidden or lost history. Now check this out. Here's a good example. Here's a map from the 1500s that shows a place called Shalaga where modern-day Chicago now resides. Y'all, that doesn't make any sense because Chicago wasn't quote-unquote founded or settled or established until the 1800s. Here's another one, a map from the 1500s that shows S. Francisco or San Francisco right where modern-day San Francisco resides. Again, that makes no sense based on what we're taught because we're told that San Francisco was not discovered by the Spanish until 1776. So what is it doing on a map from over 200 years prior? And that leads me to this map. The French archives released this digital map from 1556. And there's a few things that really stand out about it. For one, it appears that all these continents are connected. But what I really want to focus on is Antarctica, where it appears there's no ice at all. Now, what really gets wild is modern researchers have matched the topography where these rivers and mountains are shown, and these things only appear on subglacial scans from satellites from the 20th century. Now, how could these people from the 1500s have known what the topography looked like under the ice? Is it possible that there was no ice in the 1500s in Antarctica? But a better question would be, how did they know about Antarctica at all? Because we're told that, once again, Antarctica was not even discovered till the 1800s. But here, let me draw your attention to this part of the map. It appears that Antarctica and Australia are connected as one giant landmass. And this is really going to blow your mind. Check out the southern coast of Australia. Look at these sheer cliffs. They go on and on and on for hundreds of miles. And now where it really gets crazy, check out the northern coast of Antarctica. Also, sheer cliffs. They very closely resemble the southern coast of Australia. Is this evidence that these continents were once connected, and at some point in our recent past, they broke apart? It's wild because the book of Revelation mentions that God is going to move the islands and mountains out of their places. Is this evidence that that already happened, and this is the smoking gun? What do you guys think?
All right, isn't that interesting? So let's go ahead and discuss this matter. So we have here the Urbano Monte map. We're gonna zoom in a couple minutes. This is my theory. You know, this is what I have been thinking about. What we see here, Revelation 6:14. The heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together, and every mountain islands were removed out of their places. So the so-called Pangea, I believe all the continents were together, even in the time of Christ. That's why Paul says that the gospel had been preached all over the world, because you had a much closer world, you know. And the rift here and the Milky Way's mysterious shadow break or crack, is due to the firmament, you know, and the heaven being rolled up together, something like that. So this is what from here, from this, that's what I've been working on, thinking about from this, from these land masses united, we got to this, all the islands being, separated, Now from this is 1587, okay? Somehow from this, we went from this to this, 2025, right? So we went from 1587 to 2025. And this is what the French guy was saying, that he believes, and there is evidence here that Australia is not done only this thing. It was this whole thing here was Australia, or a continent that we don't know today. And that between 1587 and 2025, something must have happened, because we got ice all over here, no more land, and when we zoom in, that's what I was telling you guys, when Urbano Monte had this map made, they had already all the coordinate system. You have here the latitude lines and the longitude lines. Everything was already there, all the tropics. And but the amazing part is like when you read all the small, and I've gone over these small things here. For example, this part here was part of close to Africa. And some of these writings claims like the parts of this place belong to like Germany, Ethiopia, countries all over here from Africa, Portugal, Spain. They all claimed parts of this land, when you read those all fine prints. You see, there's a lot of fine prints here. And when you read them, when you go over them, here, Polonia, even Polonia here, Poland claims some parts of these lands around. So something happened between 1587 to 2025 that changed it from the Urbano Monte to what we have today, the AE map. So what happened, in my studying, as I've been studying this stuff and listening to other people, I believe it has to do with Satan's little season and the release of Satan. This is the map that JT was talking about. You see here Antarctica with some rivers and green. This is another one, also big Antarctica here, no snow. This is also from the 1500s. Now, this one here is interesting. This map is really, the orientation is like this, but because this is South America, they shifted, to the side. It doesn't make much sense. So we got to go back. I turned this one because this is Brazil right here, okay? Just look at South America, Peru, Brazil. And then when we go here, Antarctica, you see Terra del Fuego, land of fire. Crossing here, there was no what's the name? Andrew Passage. I forgot the name here. The Drake Passage, right here, Drake Passage. There was only the Magellan Strait right here. And then we had the Terra del Fuego, right? That was Antarctica, the land of fire, not the land of ice. Okay, nowadays, Union Glacier would be like right here, right? Right here, Union Glacier. Right here, Del Fuego, in this region, right? Barra Formosa, Terra del Pescaria, land of the of fishing, people that go fishing here, Terra Nova, new land, Terra do Fogo, that's Portuguese, land of fire, Terra Alta, highlands, you know, Ilha Queimada, like burnt out island. It seems like it was the opposite of what it is today. Instead of ice, it was hot and fire and everything, volcanoes maybe. That's South America, okay? I had to turn the map, the orientation. They designed it like this. Right there, the Fuego right here, and Brazil, and so forth, right? So, a lot of interesting stuff that we find, in my opinion, you know? So let's look at this is the hagiography, Stories of Saints Revised. It's very complicated to talk about these documents, but I selected two passages there. The Great Cosmic Conjunction of 1537, 1538. And of course, you got to look at this based, reminding you that this is based on the Gregorian calendar, which is a fake calendar, okay? But anyway, let me read this passage here. The conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in Cancer, calculated to occur in the year 1537, shall mark the conclusion of a great cycle in human affairs. Unlike ordinary conjunctions, this alignment shall coincide with Mars and Venus in precise opposition, a configuration not seen since the time of Emperor Justinian, 536 AD. So pay attention to this date right here. Most notably, the northern celestial pole shall align with certain fixed stars in a pattern described in ancient texts as signifying the loosing of that which was bound. When Satan was set free, was loosed. Many learned astrologers interpret this as heralding revolutionary changes in religion, governance, and knowledge, with particular significance for northern lands, where unusual light shall appear continuously for 40 days. Right, that was supposed to happen in 1536, 1537, 1538. Now go back to this one here that was written in 680 AD, Vatican Secrets Archives, fully restricted, known only through references. As the millennium of Satan's binding nears its completion, though calculated as 1536, 1540, the Council of Transformed Saints has established protocols for the final gathering. 7 warning signs shall precede the enemy's release: unusual celestial alignments, waters receding for certain coasts, mountains shifting positions, dormant volcanoes, awakening widespread aurora visible even in southern regions, certain animals migrating northward in mass, and dreams simultaneously experienced by the faithful worldwide. Upon observing these signs, believers are instructed to follow specific routes marked by monuments erected throughout the millennium, leading to gathering points where the transformed ones will provide transportation to the northern sanctuary. So this is really important. Now pay attention. Remember what I told you about the Emperor Justinian? This is when it's recorded the darkest day in history, which it matches what was described in Revelation, when the sun was going to go dark and the moon would turn blood, all that stuff. It happened for 18 months. So that was the start of the Millennium Kingdom. You pay attention, 536 to 1537, about 1,000 years later. 1,000 years exactly. So the lust of Satan would be marked with several uh, things going on. So that's why I believe that a lot shift. I'm talking about the lands that were going to appear, so the faithful would migrate to the north. That's when we have this map here of the land of Jesus. So why in the 1700s we have a map with the land of Jesus? Because it was according to the correct calendar, that Satan was loosed in the 1700s. The land appeared so the faithful could go to the North Pole. And that's why you find all those empty cities. When the people are talking about Tartaria, all the empty cities, how they find entire cities being empty. And if you go over the documents, the hagiographic documents, you find out that the people were supposed to go, and even the kings that tried to stop them, they were warned that not to do so. They were supposed to let the people leave, whoever wanted to go. Okay, if people, nobody was forced to go. The people who wanted to go, the lands were there. They were able to make the pilgrimage to the North Pole. All right. So what happened after Satan was loosed? We went from the Urbano Monte map. Let me go back here. All the land masses disappear. Access to the north. Everything. They call this Zealandia, right? They call like there used to be a big continent. That's what modern education calls it, like a Zealandia, something like that. But that's what my research, my studies, my conclusions are taking, that a lot of land has disappeared since the loss of Satan. Also, there were earthquakes. Many things happened in the 1700s and 1800s. We have all the mud floods and everything. So this is what I have been thinking about, the conclusions that I have gotten. Here, even this map, you see a bigger Australia, really bigger Australia. So that's what it's leading me towards this. I find more evidence that the whole 1,000 years were literal, happened already, and we are past that. Now, some people say, no, I don't believe this. Well, think this whole thing should happen sometime. It was prophesied, and Jesus said that the temple was going to be destroyed, and those things were going to happen. So I think people should understand that some people would have to live through the tribulation, and they already did, which was the people under Nero, the Antichrist, and they were being fed to lions. A lot of things happened to them. They were thrown into hot boiling water. A lot of things happened to them. So we are past that time. Now it doesn't mean that the people of today, the leaders, the Satanists, the Luciferians, aren't getting anything from that time. Of course, some of the people, they are disputing. They want to be even worse evildoer than Nero. So what we have today, we have leaders that they want to please Satan more than Nero did. And they are trying to copy some of the things he did, That's why we have a lot of similarities today, but it's not the same thing. Jesus said that those times would be the worst. So we will not have times like that one. All right, so let me pause with the presentation here for a minute. I have a second song to play, and I'll check the chat in a minute. All right. 1771, I think it's what Jesus was Satan's lose. Yeah, I believe it, this something like that in the 1700s. So let me play a second song for today. This is by Rick Hinckley. Talks about the Millennium Kingdom. Okay, so let's take a listen to this song.
They changed the maps, they moved the lines, covered up the ancient signs, buried towers in the mud, washed the truth out with a flood. What was up is now below, but the stars still tell what the preachers want. The world ain't round and it sure ain't free. There's a dome above and a glassy sea. 1,000 years he reigned in peace. Now the chains are loose and the wolves released. This is Satan's little season and the judge is on his way. Cried, the books were sealed, the old world crushed beneath the wheel. Brick by brick they tore it down, built their kingdom on hollow ground. But the bones of giants break the plow, and the bells of truth still echo loud. The world ain't round and it sure ain't free. There's a dome above and a glassy sea. 1,000 years he reigned in peace. Now the chains are loose and the wolves released. This is Satan's little season and the judge is on his way. Fire's low, but it's gonna rise. You can see it burning in the eastern skies. Don't trust the clocks or the paper trails. The truth still walks the ancient trails. And every lie that they lay down will be broken when that trumpet sounds. The world ain't round and it sure ain't free. There's a dome above and a glassy sea. He tried to hide his throne with smoke, but the winds would clear what the liars broke. This is Satan's middle season, but the king is on his way. So if your soul feels out of place, you might just be from a different age. The veil is thin, the night is long, but truth remembers every song.
Rick Hinckley, great song. You know, remember, guys, every song that I play here, go to my channel. There's a playlist there. A couple comments here to highlight. Pangea only makes sense on a flat Earth. A lump of land on one side of a spinning ball makes no sense. 100% agree. I have another map that those shown USA was part of Asia. Yeah, it's all connected. All connected. You're right. Rio Grande in Antarctica. Yes, you see there, Rio Grande in Antarctica. You know, old maps has a, because just like JT was saying, there are many rivers in Antarctica mapped in that time that today they only find through like some sort of X-ray of the land through those satellites flying above. We are definitely at the end of the age. Yes, we don't. It's not the end of the world. It's always the end of the age. You know, this is what interesting about. All right, 335 years. Yes, you know, around 250, 300 years. It's hard to know because our calendars are so, you know. Thanks. Yeah, firmament proof of a chapel. Yes. All right, so I don't know, man. The end will be 2026, 2027. We don't know, you know. We don't know. Yeah, I heard about the boy. He was placed into custody, and last time I heard he had been transferred to Chile, but he was not allowed to leave. That's the last thing I heard about that boy in Antarctica. So a couple more things that I want to share with you today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I got a very nice message here from someone. He's an engineer. He asked me where can I download the Glisson Instrument Blue. So I gave him the link, free. Everything here is free. You can download. And thank you. I'm a mine engineer, and since 2014, I think you've been one of the most consistent. And other figures are starting to get bored of talking about, you know, flat Earth. So yes, I am the one of the most consistent here because flat Earth leads to the truth of the Bible, biblical cosmology, and that's why it's important. Goes right there. Just one comment here concerning Daniel 9:24, the prophecy that has been fulfilled in Christ. The people knew, they were counting the days, they knew what was going on, right? Matthew 2:1, where is that? Where is he that's born king of the Jews? And they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. Why those people came all the way from Persia? Because they were counting the time. They knew the time was up. The prophets of Daniel, 490 years, they knew exactly the time when Jesus was born because they were counting the years. There's no 2,000 years gap in the prophecy. Matthew 2:13, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt. Why? Because Herod knew the Messiah had been born. So that's why he was killing all the babes 2 years and younger, because he was based on Daniel's 9 prophecy. Okay? Matthew 2:16, the herald sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem. They knew Bethlehem was the city. They knew the time was up. And it's the high priest at that time, he went to the temple when Jesus was presented on the 8th day, and he prayed to the Lord, mine eyes have seen thy salvation. He had been waiting. Why? Because he knew the time of the prophecy was being fulfilled. So we know the second part of the prophecy was fulfilled. The third part, the last 7 years, starts upon Jesus' anointing in Luke 3:15. And as the people were in expectation, and all men mused in their hearts of John whether he were the Christ or not, because they knew the time had been fulfilled. The Messiah was around. They just didn't know who the Messiah was. And when Jesus was baptized, John the Baptist said, there is the Son of the Lamb of God that take away the sins of the world. And Jesus, upon him being baptized or anointed, and say the time is fulfilled. What time was that? The Daniel's prophecy of 490 years. And saying the time is fulfilled, that the kingdom of God is at hand, repent ye and believe the gospel. So there is no doubt the prophecy of Daniel has all been fulfilled in Christ, right? All right, I want to talk a little bit. This guy, the Matthew from Australia, he was great. He was coming. I was learning a lot from him. He was posting a lot of stuff. He gave me this. Actually, I downloaded the whole books. A book by this guy, John Speed. He drew maps. This is one of his maps from China. You see here, Christian Kingdom, right here, I-290, Tenduk, where Christians reigned in the year 290, because this is an I. All right, all those maps here. And he was not into here, and I think a couple of guys like True Christian, they were having an argument, and Matthew all of a sudden he got mad at me, like he just started his Patreon sponsored me, and then he decided to withdraw, and he removed all of his comments, and just like that. But I'm a friend of everyone. I don't. I now believe we are in Satan's little season, but I have nothing against anybody who believes something the opposite. If you believe in dispensationalism, my daughters do. And I just want to ask you to research and get you to your own conclusion, you know? Uh, okay, let me see here. Jonathan, let me see the comment. Let me try to find a comment, okay? I don't know what comment you left here. Let me try to find. Uh, so I'm friends with everybody, For example, Flat Earth Deplorable, I believe he's a good friend. I don't think he's on board with the Satan's lyricism. Regardless, we work together, we expose the shields, talk about TFE, you know, and I cannot select anybody because there are 45,000 different denominations, Christian denominations, you know. I cannot say just my denomination is the right one. Or you cannot say your denomination or your. No, we are trying to find the answers together. Uh, so I have to look at the comments, Jonathan. I'm gonna go there. Next break, I'm gonna play another song, and then I'll check the comment, okay, and I'll reply to you. All right. So I got more things that I want to share, and let's go to this folder right here. So, as I said, John Speed, this guy here, Matthew from Australia, he sent me his book, and I was able to get some of the maps. And this is a map of South America right here, the north of Brazil. This is the Caribbean. You see now what's Guyana and Venezuela is right here, Brazil. And looking at this map, I saw this figure right here. So I started researching about more about those people. They were seen, documented in South America. So that's what I found. This map dates back 1265, and when we look here, this map has some creatures. A man with dog's face. Here we see these guys again. So I started researching about these people. And I found a paper, a PDF version of an academic paper on these creatures. So the 13th century English Southern World Map is a medieval mappamundi featuring an assortment of 14 monsters lined in a series of frames to its southern outskirts. A cynocephalus, or a dog-head person. This is not a werewolf, okay? It's really a person with dog head. Anthropophagus, known for eating human flesh. Archibald, walking on all fours, people who walk on all fours. Troglodyte, or hole clipper, who dwells in caves. Blimy, or Blimy, with its face on its chest. And Epiphagus, with eyes on its shoulders. Amyxtari, whatever, with enlarged lip. Cyopod, who uses its outgrown foot as protection from the sun. Maritima Ethiopian, shown with an extra set of eyes, illustrative of a particular keen eyesight. Summary, with no ears. A speechless man. Straw drinker, noseless and mouthless, known as narrow orifice. Noseless city Panotti, with extremely large ears. So this is the guy, the person with dog face. Whether these people are mythological, existed. The thing is that they have been documented by people who are historically reliable, like this Pliny the Elder here. He documented these blemies, these people with face on their chest. You can find Herodotus, Pliny the Elder. Right? The blemies are said to have no heads, their mouth and eyes being in their breasts. Right? They were seen in Nubia, Africa, Ethiopia, Upper Nile region, Libya, India, Scythia. Southeast Asia, the Caucasus, and also in South America. Here more depiction of them. Here is another one. In fact, all the historical accounts claim that Emperor Diocletian enlisted mercenaries to safeguard his empire against raids by Blimies. See them here? As the time went on, generation after generation embellished this outside the monster as they saw fit. So there you see, according to historical accounts, even the Emperor Diocletian enlisted people to fight against these people. Here you see the British Crown, even them fighting these creatures, you know. So whether they existed or not, I don't know. These are the ones that eat human flesh. Well, this stuff happens today. The guy with the long ears, and the guy with no mouth, the one with the big foot, you know, just one cyopod or something like that. There's a church where there's one of them, you know, on a church, kind of a cyclops, but of modern times. The guy with horse shoes, you know, for real, and not shoes, horse feet, and all of them put together. So whether these people existed or not, I don't know, but they had been recorded in those maps, ancient drawings depicting them, you know. So we don't know. I don't know. And this is the Mercator map of the North Pole, and has the island there when the pygmies lived, whether they're still there. Some people say fairies are still. This is a video showing the four. These people they still have them. Some parts in Turkey, you know, they have the four-legged people there. They walk on all four. They found these people somewhere in, you know, 2006. So yes, it seems like some of those accounts they recorded 500-600 years ago is based on truth. You know, you see the people. It's trying to teach them how to walk on foot, but I don't know. All right, so let me go back here. I'm gonna play another song. This song is really interesting, guys. And then I'll take a look at I'm gonna see if I find the comments the guy left in the other video. So let's listen to this song here. I really enjoy this song. This song I really enjoy, and it's by this guy on TikTok. I'm sure his channel. If you wanna give him a follow on TikTok, he's been uploading some songs. It's called Laser Test, right? And he is releasing a Flat Earth album. So he does have. Last week I played a song here with the lyrics was a bit full of cussing, and he told me he's gonna make playlist with songs, no cussing songs, you know. So pay attention. This song really cool. I really enjoyed. I made the video and I put his song. So take a listen while I check the other video, okay?
Turn on the news, it's all a lie. Elites in suits deciding who lives and dies. Gates on stage, smiling wide, talking population like it's genocide. They own the airwaves, control the feed. Big pharma profits while the people bleed. He stood up tall in that TED light glow. 2010, let the whole world know. 6.8 billion headed to 9, but with our shots and health design, we can lower that 10-15%. Didn't say kill, but that's what he meant. Jabs, healthcare, reproductive control, saving the kids, nothing in the soul. Big pharma pockets lined with gold, while we line up doing what we're told. Government pushes the needle deep, media calls us crazy if we speak. Bill Gates wants less of us on this earth, talking to population like it's rebirth. Shots in our arms for profit and gain. Big pharma Lower the numbers, playing his game. Elites decide who breathes the air while we pay the price. It ain't fair, they traumatize us, steal our rights slow for power and money. That's the show. He warned us clear, another wave coming soon. Fauci echoed the tune under the moon. Surprise outbreak, they both prophesied. How they know, cause it's planned inside. Events will now rehearse the fear. Months before the disease appeared. Lock us down, steal our rights away for control and cash, that's how they play. Big pharma rush the shots to market fast. Billions in profits, side effects masked. Government mandates, no questions asked. Bill Gates wants less of us on this earth. Talking depopulation like it's rebirth. Shots in arms for profit and gain. Big pharma laughs while we feel the pain. Government lies, media spins the tale. Wake up, fight back, we will not fail. We will not fail. They poison the well, then sell the cure. Trauma and fear keep us insecure. Needles and mandates divide and rule, while billionaires watch from their private pool. Media blackouts on the injured cry. Censor the truth, spread the lies. Carrie Mullis, Nobel truth teller, bold inventor of PCR story untold. Before he died in 2019, said loud and clear on the screen, these tests ain't made for diagnosis at all, just amplification, that's the call. Can't tell sick from well, just fragments they find, but they use it to lock down mankind. Convenient time, and he spoke the truth, then gone too soon, no more proof. Megalomaniacs in their ivory towers, playing God with unholy powers. Media puppets repeat the script. Big pharma rakes in every cent. They traumatize kids, destroy the free, offer their new world tyranny. But we see through the smoke and lies. The people rise, open their eyes. No more chains, no more control. We take back our bodies, our minds, our soul. Gates, Fauci, the whole damn crew. Your game's exposed, we're coming for you. No more fear, no more blind trust. Your empire crumbles into dust. Bill Gates wants less of us on this earth. Talking depopulation like it's rebirth. Shots in arms for profit and gain. Big pharma laughs while we feel the pain. Government lies, media spins the tale. Wake up, fight back, we will prevail. We will prevail. He said it himself, 10 to 15. Lower the number, know what I mean. Carry wonders, test for fraud. Rise up now against the overlords. We won't bow, we won't break. Truth will win for humanity's sake. Fight is on. Freedom will wait.
Hi guys. I'm placing here the link for this guy's channel, okay? I enjoyed this song so much. I really did. I've been listening to this song a lot. So if you go to my channel, I got the flat earth music. Every song I play here, it's there, including this one. But here you have a link for his channel. Okay? And if you are not supporter of this channel, if you want to consider, because since I started talking about Little Season, some people got upset. But, you know, give a force to this channel, get a beautiful Gleason's map, give as a present to someone, and consider becoming a Patreon. All right. So I did find the comments there. This person. So I see what you want. I mean, you say like, so basically all we have to do is have enthusiasts launch similar small rockets into the sky at the right time to test this experiment over and over. Maybe get in contact with some people who are on the total opposite side of the Earth and have them take a time-stamped picture of the moon location and the sun locations. If they are on the total opposite in a position where it is physically impossible to see the moon according to the globe model, then we will have all the proof we need. Maybe even have people run the same experiments year out from different locations. The results should always be the same. Maybe even do a live split screen. The person launching the rocket goes live with the person on the opposite side of the globe, a so-called split screen, and the camera needs to point at the moon's location, and they also need to record from a known unique landmark location as proof that they are where they claim to be. The proof needs to be recorded in a way where it is undeniable, and there are many witnesses in a live video call live stream that are on both sides of the earth, and also the people in the chat to confirm that no one's playing tricks. We can all be witness together. This flat earth globe discussion will easily be put to rest. All right, thanks for your comment, Jonathan. What I believe happened ever since the rocket was launched, I don't think they are supposed to launch them anymore. I think the FAA or NASA or something, because those were private. Yes, there were many, not many, a couple of launches in 2014 by private companies. And after that one in particular, I don't think they were able to launch those rockets anymore. So I don't know if anybody can get to uh, do it today. I don't think they are allowed to anymore. I don't think they give permission to those private owned, launching of rockets. Right? Yes, I'm going to go ahead and place this song right here. It's on my backup channel. I will share right now. It's a really cool song if you liked it. So it's called where is The Wolves, okay? The song is called The Wolves, song by Laser Test. This is the link on my YouTube channel. You can listen over and over, okay? It's from my Flat Earth Sermons backup channel. I really enjoy this song. It's a song that I've been playing over and over, actually. I really enjoy this, And I might actually, what I will do, I will end the show. But the problem is I'm a bit scared that, the lyrics might block the video or something. So I wanted to close the show today with this song. But let's see what's going to happen during the week. If they don't block or anything, I will use it as closing song for a while. So guys, what else? What's up now? So we saw today that it's the anniversary of their fake TFE, the whole mockery. They still haven't released their mockumentary. And outside a small circle of anti-flat earthers like fight the flat earth and the what's his name, MacDoom. Outside of this circle, small circle, nobody talks about this TFE. Globers in Brazil, Globers in Europe, nobody talks. Nobody is counting on this of any proof of the globe, because it's clearly a psyop, And the best thing about TFE is that it exposed those shields. I love it to see all of them come in defense of Jaron and the TFE. That was great. They exposed themselves. So that was the best part of this TFE. It was a gift for us so you can see, you know. All right, guys. So let me see what else we have for today. I don't want to leave anything behind. So we talked about the creatures, funny creatures. We talk about the fake TFEs. They are back in Antarctica, but again facing north with the mountain totally lit behind them. We talk about the changes that happened geographically between the map of Urbano Monte 1587 to what we have today, the E map. Australia and New Zealand was just one big continent, and Australia. We even had a river in Antarctica called Rio Grande. Many things. Terra del Fuego, which, in my opinion, is more proof that we are in Satan's little season, and that's what the seminars today are not talking about. They are avoiding any. They siding with the Globers. The seminars. 99% of church today, they side with the Globers, and they basically whatever the Globers say concerning Earth, they believe in NASA. They believe all that stuff. Got one more video to play before we close. Let's watch this one here real quick, just a minute.
When will this be destroyed?
In this generation.
Don't you mean after Philip's sermon series 2,000 years from now?
Huh.
They will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you.
I'm glad you're talking to Bob in Indiana 2,000 years from now and not us. What?
Are your end-of-the-age prophecies about us?
No. They're about Jack sending money to Israel 2,000 years from now.
I should have listened to Jesus when he said to flee to the mountains. I thought the tribulation was going to happen when people started to baptize animals and Palantir was taking all of our information. I think we should have taken Jesus seriously when he said the tribulation will come upon our generation.
I know, I could have sworn he said 2,000 years from now.
1 million of us just got killed. Rome is coming in to take over the temple, but imagine how bad it'll be when the real tribulation starts 2,000 years from now.
What's it like being a dispensationalist?
I know the temple is destroyed behind me, but he was talking about a temple 2,000 years from now.
Didn't Jesus say this would happen?
I thought he was saying this was for the generation at the end of the world, but he actually said end of the age.
Did Jesus prophesy about the destruction of this temple?
He did, but I didn't think he was telling the truth. I thought he was talking over my head or something.
Step one of ushering in the Antichrist. They will implant chips on people's brains, causing them to not buy or sell anything without it. Step two, the temple will be rebuilt and animal sacrifices will be acceptable by God again. God still has some covenant with Israel, I'm telling y'all. Step three, if you buy my book called The End Is Now, Rapture Theology 101, you'll discover the 47 more steps that have to happen in order for the end to come.
In order for the end of the world to happen, this temple has to be rebuilt. But
yeah, doesn't that also mean 2/3 of the Jews have to die again?
It does say that in Zechariah 13, but we shouldn't really talk about that.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that's pretty important, especially when we send money to Israel.
All right, good thing there by Victory in Christ. I like the way they put it together. Try to open the eyes of people that everything has already happened in the past. There's no prophecy really for our times except, in my opinion, Revelation 20, the war, Gog and Magog, against the camp of the saints. All right, guys, I think that's all for today. It was great being here. All right, I appreciate all of you. May the Lord bless you guys. Yeah, I'll check it. I'll check this out later. All right, so I appreciate you guys for being here today. Thank you. And support this channel. Consider becoming a patron if you can. No problem if you can't. We have been here for 9 years. Hopefully, we will be here for a couple more years. But thanks again, guys. God may the Lord bless each one of you. It was a pleasure to having you guys here today, and a privilege from my part. Thank you so much. Okay. So see you next week. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wonderful.
fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospheres, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon with photos and instruments sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles of dense air pressure, up a dead trapped in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, that very light, supernatural, eternal, benevolent. Up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, but right round behind us, any height that we dare. The sun and the moon both revolve around us, to forever show time pass intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we keep you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning hotels on the firmament, turn all around us to forever show time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we keep you like air. Mystic, luminous light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air.